Hello everybody and welcome to another reaction video on Peace Beats with Dan Blackwell. Today I am hearing Snarky Puppy for the first time in my life. I've heard of them a bunch of times, but I don't know anything about them, about what style they do or anything like that. So it's going to be really cool to get into this and see what's going on. If you enjoy my reactions, be sure to hit subscribe. And this was requested over Buy Me a Coffee, so if you'd like to do the same, the link for that is in the comments and the description. Let's jump straight into it. And back to the head. So this is all about the groove, and it's this kind of jazz structuring where you have the head or the chorus where you come back to this kind of theme, and that's the hook that we've got there with the brass coming in, but it just comes back to that rhythm. When you've got so many musicians like this, you really have to arrange it very dynamically so nobody's stepping on each other's toes, and you can really see that with the space. You have three guitarists there, but each were doing just the minimal, just the right amount to create this beautiful sound without it being busy. You know, it can be a challenge, a bit of a tightrope sometimes when you want to write intricate music like this but not have it be cacophonic or busy or anything like that, you know what I mean? Not cacophonic, what's the word? Busy, basically, you know. Like it's a real challenge, but they're absolutely nailing it. And I love the whole setup of this, of everybody just sat down with headphones. It's like this kind of appreciation session, you know what I mean? Everybody just getting down and grooving together, whether you have an instrument in your hands or not. And I love that. I love the setup of how the audience kind of feels a part of it. It's just everybody's just a person in the room and everybody's enjoying the music, whether you're making it or just appreciating it. You're a part of it, and I really love that. This really sucks you in, doesn't it? You just get sucked into the whole jam and the groove of this, and everything is kind of anchored from the drums and the bass. You know, they're in the center there, and they're rolling, and then it's all about just adding and subtracting from that top layer there. You know, let's go into a brass section, let's go into guitars, let's move it around, let's get some keys going on. But it's all about that restraint that makes this so good, of every individual musician, of just really kind of taking their turn and working so cohesively together. And what I love is it's not just everybody taking it in turns to have a jam. Like, this is an orchestrated thing, and there are moments where everything comes in at once, just on a stab, and all in harmony, and it's so tight when it does. So, you know, they're really locked in with each other. It's to be sat in this room is like to be sort of transported inside of a track, isn't it? To be inside of music, to have it all happening around you, to be able to look the musicians in the eyes. This must have been a lot of fun for everybody here. This is so cool. I'm a big fan of Snarky Puppy already. What I like about this keyboard player and the trumpet player as well, I think he had a muted trumpet if I remember rightly, is both of these guys, they're not afraid to kind of flirt with discord a little bit, to sort of go off or just push and be on the edge of the fringe of what's comfortable, you know, but just keeping you in there, but just teasing of sort of being slightly out of tune or slightly off, but not being, just right on the edge of that, just knowing exactly the notes to choose there. It's little things like that keep it really interesting. And I love that we have this big dynamic shift now, and we've kind of broken down, but who expected it to go in this direction? I was expecting them bum to then start building up, start adding some percussion in, start raising it up, you know, but instead we've gone on this weird little surreal dreamscape journey, and I think from this point on, I think we all know that we have no idea what's coming next, right? out of here. Every band like this needs an alien, and this is their resident alien. This guy is from another planet. Like his mind, man. Like, who the hell is this guy? They're just like, oh yeah, do a keyboard solo. Who expected that? Who would play that? Who would go there? Those ideas, and then bring it round and take it off on all these tangents that made perfect, beautiful sense, but only from the mind of a musical maniac. Like, who is that? Who is that guy? He is absolutely incredible, and I love his energy with it as well. And I love how the other keyboard player was just like, "Oh, I'm taking my headphones off. I need to sit this out for a little while. I'm done. How can I keep up with this guy? Because he is on his own planet. He's in his own world, and he just added a whole drop of beautiful craziness to this piece. And yeah, he's bringing a lot to this band. Wow, amazing. And we've got to say, the drummer, man. Drummer is just the main drummer, that is, like, because there's flipping two, like, so much going on, but he's keeping it going, and his fills and the intricacies of what he's doing, just beautiful. This is one hell of a collective right here. I love this. I love that energy as well. I love the style. The new feeling they're giving to this genre. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. It's about, got a freeze frame on this guy. He, at first, like, I thought I was going to be saying, the drummer was my favorite, and it's not about picking a favorite, of course, but the keyboard player, he really took it away on this one. He really just turned it into a whole different thing beautifully. What a journey that was. Just a real experience. God, it'd be so amazing to be there. this is a band I think that must be experienced live, especially in a setting like this. Would be a thoroughly enjoyable evening. I just thought that each individual musician was incredibly talented, and as a group they just worked so like cohesively together, just so on point, so tight. And with a group like this, you need to know each other personally very, very well in order to kind of gel, to be able to read each other, predict each other's movements in music. And that really came through here, that they're all really good friends, you know, they all know each other really well, they're all very close. And I think that's extremely important when it comes to great performances like this. You know, and it just shines through, and it just makes it all better. It makes it all that sweeter, doesn't it? When you really feel you like the people who are playing, and I really feel like I like every one of these guys, like just such a cool bunch, you know? That was awesome. So that was my first time hearing Snarky Puppy with their song Lingus, and we like it here. I like it here too. I like it a lot. That was awesome. If you enjoy my reactions, be sure to hit subscribe. If you'd like to make a request, I have a Buy Me a Coffee, and I also take requests through Super Thanks, and I also have a Patreon that's $1 a month, and that's ad-free videos and loads more videos. Like if this were to be taken down for some copyright thing, it goes up onto my Patreon. So there's always more content on there as well than there is on YouTube. Well worth it. And I also do blogs and other behind the scenes stuff about composition and writing and all that kind of stuff. So I'd love to see you there, whatever you fancy. As always, everybody, take care. Peace and love.